Hey, I want to talk to you about something real today. Not the highlight reel, not the wins, the actual thing. What it feels like to be in the middle of building something and not know if it's going to work out. Because I've been there, and a lot of you have been there as well. Watching the savings go down, wondering if I was fooling myself, trying to hold it together for my family while quietly questioning everything on the inside if it's going to work. And what I wish more than anything is that someone had just sat me down and told me the truth, not motivated me, not sold me the dream, just told me what this actually takes and what actually helps. And that's what I'm doing today. 10 lessons, the ones I had to earn the hard way, and I hope some of these resonate with you and help you along your journey. The first one is it's going to take everything out of you. I'm going to start with the one nobody really wants to hear. This is going to take more than you think, more time, more energy, more mental space. Um, and the hardest part, it takes it even when you're trying to be present somewhere else with your family, your kids, on a weekend at the dinner table. It takes everything out of it. And I fought that for a long time. I felt guilty about it. I resented it, but all that resistance just made it even harder. And the moment I stopped fighting the reality of what I signed up for and actually accepted it, something started shifting. It didn't get any easier, but I stopped bleeding energy on the wrong thing and started focusing on what really matters. So, if you're still on the fence about whether you're all in, you need to decide now because half in is the most expensive place to be. It costs everything and returns almost nothing. Second thing is there is no guarantee you're going to make it. There is no guarantee that you're going to make it. Nobody is going to give you that guarantee, not me, not a course, not a coach, not a mentor. And the sooner you really accept that, not just nod at it, but actually sit with it, the better your decisions are going to be. I've had deals fall apart at the last second. I've had months where the income just wasn't there. I've had moments where I genuinely could not tell if I was building something real or just refusing to admit it wasn't working. And what kept me from making desperate decisions in those moments is accepting that I could lose. When you know you can lose, you stop playing not to lose, if that makes sense. You start playing clearly. And that's when things actually starts to shift. Hope that makes sense. Third one is resilience isn't something you have. It's something that you build and learn along the way. So I used to look at people who seem unshakable and think they're just wired differently. I mean, there's a lot of those, right? They're not. They've just been through more and they made the choice over and over again to get back up whenever they face challenges. So every wall I hit, every deal that flopped, every launch that went nowhere, every period where the momentum just died, I had to make a choice, not between feeling bad or not feeling bad, between staying down or getting up. because you're always going to feel bad, but you got to get up no matter what. So you build resistance the same way you build a muscle, by using it, by putting yourself in hard situations on purpose, so that when the hard situations arrive uninvited, and they will, they don't take you out. You're prepared. Number four that I've learned is burnout is real and it will end you if you ignore it. This one is very personal. This one I learned the hard way. And I mean that um, there's a version of pushing through that's discipline. And there's a version that's just depletion, wearing a mask, I guess. I couldn't tell the difference for a long time, really, on which I was or where I was at. I hit a wall during one of the most intense growth period in my business, and the cruel thing about burnout is it doesn't announce itself. It just quietly takes everything until one day you're physically present, but mentally completely gone, and nothing good comes from that place. Protecting your energy is not soft, it is not weakness, it is the thing that keeps you standing long enough to actually finish what you started. Build recovery into your schedule now, before you need it, because by the time you need it, feels like you can't afford to stop. Um, Burnout is something that you guys need to prioritize and implement solutions now. Number five, don't try to figure this out alone. When you're in your own head for too long, everything tends to distort. Small problem starts feeling catastrophic. Normal setback starts feeling like verdicts on whether you have what it takes, and start making decisions from fear without even realizing it. Mm. Finding people who actually understands what I was going through, not business in general, but the specific day to day weight of building something, changed how I showed up. It gave me perspective I couldn't manufacture on my own. It gave me a reality check when I needed one, and support when things got dark. Because it's gonna get dark, and you don't have to go to it alone. And honestly, trying to do it alone is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. I would find a mentor, a coach, a group, so you guys can go through it together. That's something that you need, that type of environment. Number six, fail faster than you think you should. I've held on to things way too long, strategies that had already shown me they weren't working, approaches I kept pushing because I invested so much and didn't want to admit it. That's not persistence, really. That's just expensive. The money you lose on a bad idea, you kill quickly, is a fraction of what you lose holding onto it for 6 more months, hoping something changes. I know these because I've done all of them, and it's expensive holding on to things that aren't working. And you already know it, So test small, get your answers fast, and don't fall in love with your plan. Fall in love with the outcome you're after, because the plan is just a theory until the market tells you otherwise. So fail as fast as you can. Number seven, your runway is your peace of mind. Nothing distorts your thinking like financial pressure. I've seen it in myself and I've watched it happen to other people. When you're worried about making rent, covering expenses, you stop s- you stop making strategic decisions and start making survival decisions. And you don't want to be in a survival mode as an entrepreneur. It doesn't help at all. And survival decisions almost never build anything, just based on experience and what I've seen with other people. having 6 months of runway, actually having it, not just planning to build it, changes everything in how you think and how you approach business. It changes how patient you can be. It changes whether you take a bad deal because you have to, or walk away because you can afford to. I mean, having that room, that money, that financial what do you call it? That financial support will help you think a lot better, versus being in a survival mode where you take in even the crappiest deal that could probably hurt you, much more, in the long run. So, start building that buffer. Cut what you need to cut to get there. I know it feels like a slow play, but it's the thing that keeps your judgment intact when everything gets hard. Number 8, you have to know your numbers, all of them. Business is a numbers game. Cash flow is the actual heartbeat of your business, not revenue, not potential, not the deals in your pipeline. What is moving in and out right now, that's what keeps the lights on. I I have watched businesses that looked successful from the outside collapse because the money was leaving faster than it was arriving. Great revenue, no cash flow, it's gone really. So know your break even, know what's coming in and when, know what's going out and exactly why. Um, the numbers don't lie, but they can only tell you the truth if you're actually looking at them. So you got to know your numbers. It is everything. Number 9, sales and marketing are the business. Everything else is in infrastructure. Sales and marketing. Everything in your business, I mean, every system, every every team member, every strategy depends on one thing, which is revenue. Revenue coming in. And revenue comes from one thing: people finding you, trusting you, and deciding to buy from you or using your service. Sales and marketing are not the unsexy back half of running a business, they are the business. Everything else is infrastructure built around that specific core. And I had to rewrite the way I thought about this. Lead generation became the most important hour of my day, because without it, none of the other hours matter. None of the other systems matter. Nothing. Lead generation is everything. So you have to touch it every day, not when it feels right, not when you have time. Every single day, you have to generate new leads, new customers. And number 10, don't lose the reason you started. This is probably one of the most important things, because you're always going to have setbacks. You're always going to have downtimes, depressing moments, and really being able to look back on what got you started, um, is the most humbling thing you can do for yourself to help you kind of keep going. And I've watched people build real things, impressive things, and lose their marriages, their health, their relationship with their kids in the process. And the worst part is they, barely notice it happening because they were so focused on what was moving in the right direction. I don't know if that makes sense. I started this for my family, for freedom, for the ability to build something on my own terms and actually be present for the people who matter most to me. That's the thing I come back to when the pressure gets loud, because the pressure will always find a reason to ask for one more sacrifice. There's a lot of sacrifices being an entrepreneur. So know what freedom actually looks like for you. Write it down and protect it. Protect it with the same energy you give the business. Because if you lose that, what you started all for this for, then winning the business doesn't mean what you thought it did. None of it matters if you lose that. And that's what this channel is all about. Sharing, I'd love to share a lot more of these ideas that I've learned, not from books, um, not from videos, but actual experience that I've gone through. So if this resonated with you, hit subscribe. Gonna try my best to keep showing up and sharing the real stuff, the lessons that actually help me um, keep going in this entrepreneurial journey. No BS, no fluff, just what I wish someone had told me earlier. I'll see you in the next one.